Welcome to Indiana Newsdesk. I'm Joe Wren. Well, when a manufacturing facility in a large city cuts jobs or closes down, it can become a national story. That's what happened last year when Carrier announced it was laying workers off. Even President Trump got involved to try and keep workers at the Indianapolis plant. When it happens in a small community, it doesn't often garner as much attention. But as Tyler Lake reports, the effects can be even more devastating.
Peg Franz runs a volunteer program that delivers Christmas gifts to seniors as well as mentally and physically challenged adults.
Right, we're doing a Christmas drive.
She's rounding up all the gifts and getting them ready to go out for delivery before Christmas. It keeps her busy, but she has a lot on her mind. Her husband, Steve, has worked at Paoli Incorporated making office furniture for 22 years.
And then about 2 weeks ago, he comes home to tell me that they announced that they're closing their doors for good and doing away with the line, the Paoli line altogether. And that's going to happen in the first week of February.
That's not a lot of notice for a place that's been one of the area's largest employers for more than a century.
No, it's a huge impact, and it's not easy to deal with that type of impact.
Orleans doesn't have a mayor or an economic development department. As the clerk-treasurer, Robert Henderson handles a lot of the town's official business. He says the announcement came as a surprise to everyone.
Well, it came right here at the end of the year. You know, at Christmas time, couldn't come at a worse time, the news. And like I said, many of the individuals who worked there, they were long-time employees. Many of them worked there for decades.
After a contract extension earlier this year, Peg thought David would at least be able to stay at the factory until June.
We thought, we have a breather. We can take some time and relax and enjoy the holidays and not have to think about this all the time and think about this case scenario and that case scenario. And then he comes home and it's just like the rug was pulled out from underneath us.
H&I is the second largest office furniture manufacturer in the world. H&I purchased Paoli Incorporated back in 2004. They announced last October the plant would be closing and it would be phasing down production over the year. But workers thought they'd be able to hang on at least through the summer. The plant has gone from about 1,000 workers to only about 120. Many of those who have been laid off have taken lower-paying jobs in Orange County or relocated anywhere they can find work. And that's having a ripple effect throughout the region. This spring, the county reported an unemployment rate of 5.9%, the highest in the state.
So we're looking at probably 85 or 90 years in the family. This building, yes.
William Windhorst's furniture and appliance store sits right on the Paoli Town Square. It's a short 10 minutes drive from the Paoli Incorporated factory. He estimates that during Paoli Incorporated's heyday, it accounted for at least 15% of his customer base.
Those jobs were good jobs, and they were long-term jobs. And so customers who come in and buy furniture could use financing options and things like that without fear that I'm going to be laid off tomorrow. So that's one thing we saw pretty quick was people were less likely to buy as quickly because what does the future bring for us here in Orange County?
He says the plant's closing has been on everyone's mind and has become an emotional burden for those in the area.
It comes up. It comes up here at work. You know, what are they going to do this week? Or somebody might come in looking to repair an appliance and they say, you know, I'm getting laid off next week, so I want to go ahead and get this fixed now while I still have some money coming in.
Many people in the region are hoping that someone will come in and buy the 30-acre manufacturing facility and bring good jobs back to the county. Robert Henderson says he's trying to get a buyer for the plant. He's working with the Orange County Economic Development Partnership to do just that. At some point, he thinks the right buyer can be found for the site.
And I'm cautiously optimistic that something will happen maybe even before the year's end. We're hoping that something good can happen there. So that would be a wonderful Christmas miracle if that could come about.
Meanwhile, the Franz are in limbo. They can't afford for Steve to be unemployed. Peg says the best scenario they see right now is that Steve will be able to transfer to another H&I plant. But that would mean a move to North Carolina, and that's a daunting notion for Peg, who has lived in Orange County most of her life.
I had never thought of it being the stage of life where we're uprooting our life that we know here and all of our support systems and moving somewhere where we don't know a soul.
For Indiana Newsdesk, I'm Tyler Lake.
The #1 employment sector in Orange County now is tourism. About 10% of the county's 19,000 residents work at hotels or in the service sector.